So thank you very much once again for inviting me to Kaduwela Toastmasters Club, first educational meeting for the year. Now, not to put any ground rules as such, but I kind of felt that I should tell this at the very beginning, seeing that there's new joinees. So I will consider this audience as new set of people to Toastmasters. Then I think it will be easy for us to engage and talk to each other because we are talking about why Toastmasters in our life. Now, quickly, I would like to ask a question from all of you. Use the chat option and send in some answers. Now, why Toastmasters and what's in it for you? Maybe one or two answers if you can share. Okay, Toastmaster Hemakant, it helps me in impromptu speaking. Good. Anything else? Networking. Indeed. That's what I'm doing at the moment also. Getting to know people from Kaduwela Toastmasters Club. To have a good time while improving my skills. Yes. We enjoy while we are learning. Okay, maybe after one more reply, I will go back to the session. It is still share my thoughts and being loved from a lot of people. Yes, indeed, to reduce fear of public speaking. Thank you very much. And a big round of applause for all your answers. Now, I remember asking the same question at another club, and there was one answer which said, why Toastmasters? Especially because of food and beverages. The good old days, yes, we had physical meetings, and one of the best things to participate in a Toastmasters meeting would be to have food and eat around and enjoy. Well, too bad that we have moved on to virtual meetings, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we can move back to physical meetings in the near future. For me, also to answer the same question, why Toastmasters and what's in it for me? I accidentally joined a speech crafters program at my club. Now, I'm coming from a corporate club. I am from Nations Toastmasters. And something, I can't be saying it's not interesting, but when it comes to a corporate club, the common fact about it is that you don't get a lot of people from other professions. Now, if you take my club, we are bankers. That's one common fact that we have, no matter which department you represent, which branch you are coming from. We are bankers end of the day. Now, the beauty of a community club just like this is that you have people from all walks of life. Now, there can be doctors to engineers to lawyers to students, millions of people out there. And imagine, now one of you said it's all about networking, getting to know people. Imagine getting to know quite an amount of people, which represents quite an amount of areas, doctors to lawyers to whatnot. So that's something good about joining a community club. With all due respect to corporate clubs, yes, you can learn whether it is a corporate club or a community club, you can learn from every meeting and from every individual. Now, after completing a speech crafters program, I had to join the Toastmasters Club. Now, today, within a span of 20 to 30 minutes, what I'll be sharing is that some of my own experiences that I gained, or I rather had after joining the Toastmasters Club or the so-called fraternity of Toastmasters. Toastmasters, there are two aspects in it. One is you develop your skills as a communicator, and the other option or the other track would be you learn the art of leadership. Now, these are the two tracks mainly which you get in Toastmasters. Now, I will start from the communication track. From a communication point of view, I will share 3 benefits which I gained personally. Number one would be how to properly articulate. Now, how did that happen? Before I joined Toastmasters, I knew that I can talk. I love talking. No matter what time of the day, no matter what the audience is, irrespective of the situation, I love talking. And I was waiting for a chance to talk. But believe me, when I joined Toastmasters, I realized, oh God, I have to talk sense in front of an audience. Now that's how I learned to articulate in a proper manner. Now, how do ones articulate? It is where when you articulate yourself in a proper manner, the audience itself, they will realize that you are ready with what you are saying, you are comfortable, and you have a lot of information with you, and you are to the point. Now, what will happen when you join a Toastmasters club, and how does this relate to being, or rather properly articulating? Remember some of the role players that we have here. One good example would be our counter. Now, listening to an R counter, or keeping in mind that there is an R counter, you will avoid filler words such as ahs, well, likewise. Now, learning that, you can properly articulate when you get an opportunity, or when you rather talk at the next instance. And the other thing is, when you prepare yourself to deliver a speech, you collect information, you collect thoughts. Even while you're walking, or maybe you're having a chat with your friends, you started collecting information and you write them down. Let me give you an example. I was going down the memory lane while I was preparing for this speech. And when it comes to communication, myself, I'm also delivering my Pathways projects. For your benefit, for your information, Pathways is the educational program that we have in Toastmasters. Now, I'm a Pathways member. If you are not still, please go ahead and register yourself for Pathways, because that's the yes, I am doing some marketing also here. So maybe the president can thank me later, and the VP Edu. So you need to enroll yourself to Pathways. Now, through that, if I'm not mistaken, level 2 was about, there was one speech that I had to deliver with regard to communication. What is the communication style that I have? I was thinking, and I was talking to my friends, people at office. Now, how am I going to give, or rather deliver a speech about my communication style? So I was walking, after work, I was walking to get my office transport, and I got into it, and I was just thinking about my parents. And then I realized some of the qualities that I have is basically from my parents. The way I talk, the way I think, the way I interact with people. And I quickly called one of my Toastmaster friends, and I asked him, okay, here, listen, I have to give a speech on communication, and I have to talk about my communication style. And don't you think that we get all these qualities from our parents? Can I talk about that? So that was a sudden thought that came into my mind. Now, that is the benefit of being a Toastmaster. You collect information, there are thoughts coming in, either you write them down or talk to your friend and get it sorted, right? So that's the beauty of being a Toastmaster. Now, in that manner, you can properly go ahead and articulate yourself, right? From sentence structuring to grammar. Why we have a grammarian in this audience? Because it helps us to learn something. Learn the art of grammar, or how to even to pronounce a word. Word of the day. Now, in this club, we have a word of the day as well as a phrase of the day, which is commendable, right? Now, these are some of the benefits when it comes to properly articulating yourself. Now, this happens when you join a Toastmasters club, right? And from a professional point of view, for me as a trainer, this has helped me a lot, because I interact with a lot of people day in, day out, and I teach, especially induction is being handled by me. So it helps me to properly talk to them and share my experience and share my knowledge, because I know how to articulate myself. Point number 2, or rather the second benefit under communication, would be listening. You master the art of listening. I would say you master the art of active listening. How does it happen at Toastmasters? Why? The round robin session. Even the round robin master clearly said, use the last uttered word, not the sentence. So you badly want to listen. And I saw Asiri, going through a lot of trouble listening. Oh my God, what is the last uttered word? Okay, because you don't want to miss it, right? So that's how we practice the skill of listening at Toastmasters. Now, how does it come handy when it comes to your personal life? Now, for me, when it comes to my personal life, at home, good old days, I hate listening to my parents. And I'm the youngest from in the family. So listening to an elder brother, it has been like a headache throughout, even now. Now, after joining Toastmasters, after practicing active listening, now I know when to listen and what to listen and when to talk. So while my parents are not preaching, but advising, and even my elder brother, when he's talking and when he's giving or providing me some advice, I know how to listen and then talk, right? So that's the beauty of Toastmasters, joining the Toastmasters Club. And even in my professional life, I handle multiple colleagues, or I work with multiple colleagues. So they have different ideas, different set of thoughts. Now it's all about giving them also an opportunity. Yes, listen first and then talk. So what happens is that you will be getting an opportunity to listen to someone else about their thoughts and about their ideas. So later on, you can talk and discuss and communicate. So isn't that easy? When it comes to your personal or professional life, active listening plays an important role, right? Then third benefit would be under communication is providing feedback. How does it happen at the Toastmasters Forum? Evaluations. You provide effective evaluations even after a speech, even after a table topic. How does it happen? We call it effective or constructive feedback or constructive evaluation that an evaluator provides. The beauty of it is that if you are an evaluator, you go ahead and you firstly read out the positives of a speaker, and then you don't tell the negatives, but you call it areas for improvement. Now, see the language we use, the words that we use, right? Now, when you provide an evaluation, it helps the speaker to develop. Next time when he or she is delivering a speech, after a proper evaluation, they know what to do and they know the areas that they need to improve. How does it come handy in a professional or a personal platform? For me, feedback has been something tremendously helpful. Now, I once played the role as an employee engagement manager in our bank. Most of the time, I had to talk to many people, staff, irrespective of their grade, starting from the corporate management to the senior management to junior levels, all of that. And one of the biggest conflicts that I had was, yes, of course, I had to listen to them. And then I had to figure out a way to explain them, or rather bring out their skills and let them figure out, okay, this is something good that you continue. And this is some of the areas that you need to improve. So I had to find the exact words because I didn't want to hurt the employee, right? Because they must be having a concern already. So if I started adding multiple options where they can't go ahead and implement, that will be a disaster. So Toastmasters helped me to provide effective evaluation and feedback, even in my personal life and even in my professional life. Nowadays, I am actually experiencing it, especially with my parents. Now they've come to an age, so they're pretty much senior, and they have their own mentalities to thoughts. Sometimes they go ahead and have these conflicts, and where my father is not listening to my mother, and my mother is not listening to my father. For your information, my mother was a teacher. So teachers, like, with all due respect to if there are teachers in this audience, they're pretty much reluctant to listen to others, right? And I've seen it in my mother too. But now, after joining Toastmasters, I figured out, okay, this is how you give effective evaluation. So I ask her to sit down first and then talk to her. And I tell her, okay, these are the areas that you do perfectly well. So here are some of the areas that you need to improve, especially when you're talking to my dad, okay? So I actually practice it, and that has come handy. and I was resonating some of the people and some of the moments that I had to basically go ahead and practice all of this. Now that's about communication. Moving on to the leadership track. There are few other areas which came in handy, or rather which I went ahead and experienced when it comes to the leadership track. Currently, well, if you heard my profile, right? Yes, I am a division director. Now, when it comes to Toastmasters, yes, I've climbed and I've basically gone ahead and experienced some of the leadership roles, starting from treasurer to VP Edu to president and all of that. Even, believe me, even if you have to play a role of an hour counter, a timer, don't think that it's hour counter, just a small role. Timer, it's very simple. But if you take a look at it very carefully, you learn quite a lot when you play that role. Hour counter, it's not an easy job. You need to listen, right? And then write them down. I believe Toastmaster Navisha is going through a lot at the moment, listening to all the speakers, writing down all the sentences or where they've missed, the filler words, all of that. And timing, has it been easy? No. But in all of that, it gives us the opportunity to lead. As an hour counter, you lead that role. As a timer, you lead that particular role and you learn something out of it, right? Then, so likewise, when you go up in the ladder, even in Toastmasters, you learn the art of leadership in every step that you take. When I was the president, the experience that I went through, the knowledge that I gained, I am practicing it while I'm being the division director now. Right? How does it come handy when it comes to your personal or the professional in a professional life? So under leadership, one of the best benefits that I had was collaboration. I love working with a lot of people. And if you take a Toastmasters meeting or a Toastmasters club, even now, if you take Kaduwela Toastmasters, aren't you all collaborating and doing something? This educational meeting, it's all about collaborating, right? President, you have a VP education, EXCO and the members, everybody is working together. And that is what is called collaboration. And then the best part about it is that when you collaborate with people, you learn from each other. Now, Toastmaster Asiri is one of our members too, okay? Just for your information. Now, when he joins our club, we learned a lot from him, how he does his timer role and what he brings to the table. So it was interesting for us. And at the initial stage, we were like, are we doing it right? Because we learned something from Toastmaster Asiri. Now, that's what is called collaborating and learning from each other. So that is one benefit that I gained going through the leadership track. Then the other benefit I would say is that planning, implementing, and delegation. How does it happen in a Toastmasters club? VP education, he or she will delegate certain tasks, from a timer's role to the table topics to all of that. And implementing, even arranging an educational meeting, that itself, there's a lot of hard work, right? Getting people in, calling them, and, well, reaching out for guest speakers and guests, whatnot. So, and you need to plan ahead, right? Your educational meetings, and this is your first meeting for the year. So later on, there are multiple meetings that will happen. So through Toastmasters, we learn all of them. How does it come handy when it comes to your professional life or your personal life? Now, for me, as I said, I was handling employee engagement in our organization. Even currently, I'm handling it. There were multiple events that I had to organize. Toastmasters helped me in numerous ways. How to plan it, how to implement certain stuff, and delegation. I think the art of delegation I learned through Toastmasters, especially through my council members. I am pretty much reluctant to give tasks to others. Why? Because I think, no, I don't think they're going to do it in a better way. There can be a few hiccups, but believe me, my council members, previous ones and current ones, even my Toastmaster friends, they said, Rui, listen, not everybody is ticking boxes just like you. You need to give them an opportunity, right? You need to let go and give them tasks. Then you will realize, okay, it's been done. So in the hardest possible way, I learned it, right? And that is through Toastmasters. And that has come handy when I handle my trainings, to my events, and all of that. Even at home, that has come handy. I give tasks to my parents, to my brother, and I enjoy it, right? So delegation, I have mastered it to another level now, okay? And last point, or the last benefit that I gained through the leadership track would be mentoring. Mentoring is one aspect in Toastmasters that will benefit you in numerous ways. Why? Mentoring is all about, in a nutshell, or in a ground level explanation, would be there is a person or a senior member who will help or guide you or sort of assist you in your journey as a Toastmaster. Now, whoever who joins the Toastmasters fraternity at the very beginning, after about 6 months' time, or no sooner you join, there are clubs who assign mentors, because it'll help you, or they will guide you in a proper way. Okay, this is what you have to do in order to accomplish, in order to register for pathways, this is what you have to do. In order to accomplish your educational materials, this is what you have to do. And the best part about being a mentor or going through that mentoring program is that it'll help you to develop or enhance your existing qualities, right? And for example, let's say now I would love to talk to people, and I would love to talk at any forum. Now, when I got my mentor through Toastmasters, what she said was, okay, Rui, listen, now I know that you like talking, but you need to figure out when to talk and what is the ideal platform and what you really need to talk, right? Even at a meeting, first, you just listen to what they're saying. And then later on, you collaborate with them, or rather talk to them, and then share your ideas and thoughts. So that's how I started learning it in the hard ways, kind of. So mentoring is something interesting for me also, because now I have 2 to 3 mentees, even at office, even in the Toastmasters club. Now it came handy because now I know how to mentor them. I know how to take their qualities and how to enhance it to the next level. And if they have any areas for improvement, I kind of know the art of telling them, okay, this is what you have to do. Okay, so that's what that has been one of the best examples that I could give when it comes to the mentoring program itself. So those are some of the benefits that I came across after joining Toastmasters. But most importantly, I would say Toastmasters is all about learning, but I would say it's all about fun learning. Okay, and because whenever you do something, or whenever you go ahead and implement, or you play a role, whatever happens, you enjoy. You don't have to be so serious about it, right? And nobody's going to tell, okay, you did it the wrong way, you would have done it this way. I mean, they would say it, but in a nice way, right? You can do multiple mistakes in this forum. That's okay, that's fine, right? So that's the beauty of Toastmasters. And there'll be plenty of other people who will help you. RCD will help you, and your president will help you out. And it's just a matter of reaching out to them. Reach out to them whenever it's possible. That's fine. You don't have to know everything in the world, right? Everything around there. Even I don't know some of the stuff, okay? And I always reach out to my members, my council members, my friends, and ask, hey, what is this? I can't understand. That's fine, right? Once you learn it, next time when it comes, or when it happens, the same experience happens, then you know, aha, this is what I learned last time, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, this is why I love being a Toastmasters. And after joining Toastmasters, these are some of the benefits that I get personally and professionally. Just to summarize what I spoke of, so we have two tracks in Toastmasters: communication and leadership. From a communication point of view, for me, what I've learned is that how to articulate properly, active listening, and providing feedback. And then from a leadership point of view, I learned how to collaborate with people, and planning, implementing, and delegating, and most importantly, mentoring. And that's about it. So I've almost reached 25 minutes. And then if you have any questions, I would like to answer them given the time span. So that's, yeah. And also, don't worry, you can start from scratch. Um, if you miss something, or if you still feel like, oh my God, I don't think I can do this, don't worry, start from scratch. And end of the day, you will resonate and figure out people or memories and all of that. So kind of feel, when you don't have questions, there are two things that will come to my mind. Either I have confused all of you, or I've done something good, right? Anyway, if you have any questions, I'll be here throughout the meeting. So you can ask and reach out to me. So over to you, Toastmaster of the day.